Hello and welcome. Today we'll be working on slope. And slope, all it is a measure, go ahead and put a measure of the steepness of a line. So first we're going to go and talk about what steepness means. And for that I will be using some lines here. So we have, let's see, these two lines. Good. I'm going to go ahead and draw some different triangles here. But they're not really all that different. They're just, some of them are going to be different shapes, but otherwise they're going to be similar. Okay, in other respects. Alright. And we'll do one more. So what we're doing, or what I'm doing, is creating several different triangles, and if you notice, each one of these triangles has a different direction for the top of this triangle. Okay, so this one is pointing up a little more upwards, this one is pointing even more, and as we move to the right, the steepness of these lines gets higher and higher and higher. So if we're thinking of steepness, here we'll do, I'll write this out, steepness. These ones over here, I will go ahead and let's get some color. So the steepness for this one is very high, and for this one it's not as high, and the steepness gets smaller and smaller the more it points down to the right. Okay, so the steepness right here is very high. Okay, very high. Then this one, it's high. This is medium. I'll just abbreviate that with MED. This is low steepness, and this is very low steepness. Okay, so from very low to very high, and what I would liken this to is if you're thinking of ramps, like something that is on an incline, or yeah, basically a ramp that, let's say, a skateboarder or someone who's riding a bicycle, or even car, you know, for the stunt cars, if they're jumping off these ramps, then if we imagine, and I'll, instead of telling you with words, I'll go ahead and show you with pictures. So let me go ahead and imagine here we have our car. And this car, even though it would be driving very fast, it would actually not be able to jump all that much. Whereas as we get to this sort of low medium ramp, it would actually be able to jump higher. And with this medium one, it would be able to jump very high. Unfortunately, with the high one, the car would probably crash in the ramp, and that would be that. And very high is just, it's way too impractical. But as you can see, the more steep a ramp is, the higher somebody can jump off of it. Okay? Now, how does this relate to math? It relates to it actually very closely. So let me get everything situated here. We'll just leave this for you to see now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw the graph, and let me just get things set up here. I'm going to go ahead and draw a graph. Okay, and I'm looking for black. I'm not looking for any other color. Good. And okay, of course we need to draw some arrows. Always label our arrows. Axes is what they're really called. So this is one axis, and this would be the other. Now I'm going to go ahead and start making marks. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'll label this so that way it's very clear and easy to understand. So we have, oops, wrong one. It usually helps to get everything in the right location. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll just go up to 5. And then same thing right here. And I'll choose a different color. So 0, yep, same mistake again. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and I'm not going to go ahead and draw the grids. That'll take extra time, and I think we're at the point where we can do fine without it. Let's just make sure that things line up, nicely, that they line up correctly. That's what I meant to say. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just pick a point. Let's call it point 1, and I will say that is. We'll start with 1, comma 1. Okay, and then point 2. Let's go ahead and pick another color, and I will call that. Let's see. So that's point 2, and we'll say that is 2, comma 4. Okay. So with point 1, and I will, there we go. So point 1 is 1, comma 1, so this is the x value. So we go ahead and go to 1, and then we want to go up 1 spot to the y value. So where the 1, comma 1 meet is where I want to go ahead and put my point. And I will label this 1, comma 1, so that it's easy to understand. The next point, point 2, is 2, comma 4. So I go to the x value, which is 2, and I want to keep going all the way up till I hit 4 for the y value. Okay, this should be some very quick and easy review for plotting and graphing. And if you feel uneasy with what you're seeing in front of you, I would urge you to go back to one of my other videos, which is called Plots and Graphs, and that way you can go ahead and review. But for now, let's proceed. Okay, so I have 2 points, and I'm going to go ahead and connect those with a line, and I'll thicken that line. Okay. Now, this line we can think of as being something that's high steepness. But I want to figure out, using numbers, exactly how steep it is. And just saying that it's high doesn't mean anything mathematically. I have to use numbers to figure out. So what I do is I want to go ahead and imagine that I have, let's see, go ahead and put some dash marks here. Okay, so I'm starting at 1, going all the way up to 4, and then I'm starting at 1 in the x value and going all the way to 2. Okay, So it looks like I'm creating a triangle. I'm creating a triangle form. Now, the way to calculate slope, all I have to do is take some numbers and I need to set this up so that it's very clear. All right, now I have, let's do this correctly. Okay, hopefully this is gonna turn out well. Okay, so the 4 and the 1, all right? Those are the two values I'm gonna be working with first. And then the next value, this 2 and this other 1 are the ones I'm going to be working on second. So the way to calculate slope is I take my point number 2 and I subtract it from point 1. But I have to do it in a certain way. And the certain way involves fractions. So let's go ahead and give you the definition mathematically. Okay, this is not going to make sense for the moment, but let's give the definition mathematically so that you know what it is. The slope is equal to a fraction, okay? And that fraction is the y value of 0.2, okay? And I'm just going to go ahead and put 0.2 minus the y value of 0.1. And then I will, I'm going to go ahead and set up one, okay, I want to take this yellow, I'm going to take the yellow, and I want to go ahead and put this in the background. Hopefully it works. Okay, good. So these two yellow values are what 4 and 1 are corresponding to. Okay, now the x values are what I want to go ahead and calculate. So I'm going to go ahead and find my brush. Okay, and now I want to subtract the x value from 0.2, which is the 2 I highlighted right here with the blue. I want to subtract that from the x value in 0.1. Okay? I'm going to write that down now so that way you understand it. But as you see, we have a fraction that's being formed by these values. And I'm highlighting that so that way you know. Good. So the y values are yellow, the x values are blue. Y over x, when we subtract those numbers, we will get our slope. So let's go ahead and put the numbers in. I've talked way too much about this fraction. Let's go ahead and put the numbers in and see what we get. Y2 is 4, right? Because this is the second point. 4 minus, and y1 is just the number 1. So already we have 4 minus 1 as the numerator. And in the denominator, on the bottom, we have x2, which is the number 2, 2 minus, and then the x value for 0.1 is just 1. Okay? 4 minus 1, well, that's just 3. And 2 minus 1 is just 1. So the slope, the mathematical value for slope, which we've calculated by subtracting the y for the numerator and then the x values for the denominator, is 3 over 1. Okay, and here we are. So 3 over 1 is the slope. Perfect.